Good morning, guys. How are we all doing? So Dan from Trading with Dan here. This is our Bitcoin morning update. So if you guys wouldn't mind smashing that like button, and we will go straight over to those Bitcoin charts. So yeah, Bitcoin on the 4 hour, Bitcoin on the 4 hour. We are currently holding this level. This level we've got drawn in here, which is actually 33,000. So we'll just call it roughly 34,000. So say 33,000 to 34,000. This is obviously one of the levels we've got to hold, but realistically, if we want to negate this potential head and shoulders, this is the level here, 35k above here, and hold. We did have a bounce above 35k. We did start to come down pretty sharpish, and some people were thinking, oh, this is it, the head and shoulders is playing out right now, but well, not never, can never say never, but it was very unlikely just to be coming straight down to break the neckline and straight down to whatever projected target. It was always likely, if we are going to break this neckline, break this level, this 30k, and come down to, mid-20s, mid to low 20ks, it was always more likely we're going to play out some time in this range first before coming down, before potentially breaking this neckline. And coming down. It was unlikely we were going to come straight down here as some people were fearing at the time. You just had to look at the larger time frame, just look at the larger picture. But that all being said, that does mean that we are, like I have been saying, we are not out of the woods yet by any way, shape or form. We have got to get above this 35k level, hold this level, and then push on upwards. To fully negate this potential pattern. Regardless of this pattern, though, regardless if you don't think this is a head and shoulders, it does not matter either way. Basically 30k is going to be an important level as well. The only thing I would say regarding is it or isn't it head and shoulders is just the projected target. So if we lose 30k, if you want to think it is a head and shoulders, then obviously you've got a projected target probably lower than what you have if you just think breaking 30k is not a problem. We can come and basically get supported around 23, 24k, and then turn our way back up. Obviously that is not as deep as the projected target from this, so that's all it really comes down to. So either way, a break and a hold below 30k does pretty much signal a short trade. For a good few thousand dollars lower. We also have the lows of these wicks that could closing below these could trigger the move at least down to the 30k, and then we assess when we get there. But at the moment, guys, we are looking relatively constructive here. We've had a push up. We've actually been supported by this level here quite a few times. Obviously wicks below, but got brought back up, and we are now looking to push up again at this high here. So in this short-term trend here, we've got a low, we've got a high, and then we've got a higher lows. Realistically, I mean, if we can basically get above this this resistance we've got drawn in here, and take out these highs at 36,500, then I mean, we are looking at a move up to the next level, which is basically just over 38k. So that would then definitely start to invalidate this head and shoulders. So then even if we break these levels, I would not then be looking at a projected target around 20k. I would probably then only look for mid 20ks if that is to happen. But obviously if this does happen, we break up, we invalidate this pattern, then realistically it's game on, and actually we'll just forget any downside targets, and the most likelihood would be continuation upwards to our basically 46, 52, 58 targets. So it's at the moment it's not looking too bad. If we can basically break above this resistance, and by extension we'll probably take out this as well, then yeah, we're expecting a move up to here, and then we will pretty much look bullish again. And I think that would start to calm some nerves. Maybe we'll get a pullback to basically this old resistance, new support, if that is what happens. Get supported around 36k, and then that would form a nice base for us to push on upwards. What I would also say, though, to look out for, notwithstanding anything that I've said, is that we've had a big move up. We've had quite a big retrace, and it would actually just make perfect sense for us to range in this zone for a while. So whilst I am saying, yeah, get above here, get to this level, look bullish again, we could still be, we could then basically really struggle to get much higher than here and actually just play out a wider range between 30 and 40k. And I don't mean literally like we have been doing, 30 to 40 to 30 back to 40. I mean, we could then trade say 40 to between 40 and 36, trade the top half, maybe lose that, trade the bottom half a little, regain the top half. That's kind of how these ranges work. We kind of have the larger range and then have the midpoint, which usually is of significance. As we can pretty much see significance now, if this is to happen, if we have this lower level of 30,000, higher level of well, around 40,000, and then we are basically we are testing the mid level of the range here, aren't we? That's basically what we're doing. So we are looking to try and break back above. If we break back above, we can then trade out this range for a bit. If we don't, come back down to 30k, hold 30k, trade out the low end of the range again. We could very much see that, and that would potentially be this could basically be the altcoin season that we've been waiting for. Bitcoin has gone on a very nice move up, and if we then basically range between 30 and 40k for a while, say a couple of weeks, that could be a couple of weeks of some major altcoin fun times. So yeah, we've got that to look out for. DXY as well. Obviously, we had a deep dive in DXY in yesterday's video. So if you missed that and you are interested, check that out. But yeah, DXY, you can see here, we basically did reach. We were getting resisted by this level, broke above it, then hit our next target, then obviously then came back and back tested the level we broke above. So nice to see all the levels we've got drawn in getting respected. All good there. So it's now a case of is this going to be a higher low, and we're going to push on, take out this high and put in a higher high and continue up to where I could potentially, as I've explained to you guys, I could potentially see a move up to around these 92s before then getting rejected and then continuation down. But that also doesn't need to be the scenario. We could get back to 92, come back and back test one of the lower levels or a level, and then just carry on upwards. Flying in the face of what basically the consensus is at the moment. And you'll often find once you get consensus, that's it, that trade is done. We'll go the opposite way basically. So yeah, lots of factors at play with the dollar, but as it stands, we've got a very clear levels that we've had drawn in for ages anyway. So it is a case of, do we take out this level? In which case I would probably say we've got a short-term target, obviously, of this level here of 91s. I will actually draw that in just because it is in play. It's in play at the moment. We've got this short-term target, but realistically, this is a more reasonable target. A more macro target, a more medium-term target is around up here. But yeah, this is a level that could come into play, and even if we get to here, bounce back test this level and then carry on upwards, that is clearly a scenario. For a potential reversal in this asset. Also, I'll just like to take you over to the weekly so you can basically kind of see that I know we haven't fully tapped this level, but we've not got a million miles away from it. Incidentally, we have got a weekly 9 as well, and we are obviously seeing potential bottoming action around this weekly 9. Last weekly 9 got us a nice bounce up, but again, like I said, it was basically faded and we came lower. So I mean, this is basically what we could see here on the larger time scale. We could see the move back up to around here, the 92s levels, which I'm talking about, and then turn it back around and come lower in much the same way we did off pretty much the last weekly 9. Price action just a bit too choppy here to glean any information from the 9s. On this weekly scale. Yeah, not too many others over really, just one that kind of you can kind of see there, but it's a bit choppy. But yeah, so that is kind of what we are looking at in the dollar. It is decision time for the dollar, I believe. I think it is decision time medium term. decision time medium term as to whether we get up to 92s. I do think larger time frame we are clearly still bearish. So I'm not going to change that view. I'm not going to change that view until we basically get above here, basically. Get above 90, yeah, get above this level here, so say call it 95. Get above 95, and then we are going bullish, basically. and it will be a game over for Bitcoin. So yeah, yeah, that is that. Stocks looking good. You can see here stocks looking good. Hard to see basically Bitcoin turning around while stocks are going up. So yeah, something to consider there. Silver looking to try and put a bounce in here, but obviously it's struggling with the dollar. Our Ethereum Bitcoin pairing holding well roughly the mid-range. Again, we need to see really a break of either this top or this lower part. Just trading sideways in here. Is just trading sideways in here, waiting for that move. What I will say is this is similar to what we could end up getting in Bitcoin. Trading sideways between 30 and 40k, and then if we do that, then I expect this will break to the upside and go up. Bitcoin dominance as well, as you can see, still looking very head and shoulder pattern in this short term. And if we do lose this, if we do come down, then yeah, this move will again probably coincide with Bitcoin trading between 30 and 40k for a few weeks, and an altcoin season. So it is on the cards. It is definitely a maybe. It is a definite maybe. So so yeah, let's have a quick look at the stochastics now. Are they looking like they can bust us through this 35, 36k, get us up to 38k? What are they saying? 4 hours moving up nicely, so this is giving us a bit of upside impetus. 10 hour starting to turn back up now as well from quite a deep range, quite a deep level. So this could give us some serious momentum to the upside, and I think if this does get going to the upside, this will bring us to back up to 40k. As to whether we break through 40k and continue to the upside, we shall have to see. But yeah, that could at least get us up there. 12 hour still diving, but as you can see, 10 hour is not not that much of a lower time frame from 12 hour, and 10 hour starting to turn up, so it will feed through to 12 hour. Eventually, if we do stay where we are, keep going up. Daily diving though, 2-day coming down, 3-day coming down, weekly coming down also, and bi-weekly even coming down now, and monthly, well, monthly is toppy, starting to turn over, but look, you can see we're very high anyway, and there's not a lot of price data, but we are very high anyway. So so potential in these stochastics warning flags. But what I will say is in bull markets these can just stay elevated for a long time, as we see on some of the median time frames. But mainly what I'd be watching is this 10 and 12 hour, just mainly because for the time frames that we're looking at, these are basically going to be the key drivers for the price action on the time frames that we are most interested in. So, and they are looking like if we hold up here, that we could basically take out 35k, continue upwards, and then we could end up with a great range between about the 30 and 40k level, with obviously the midpoint of 35k. So we could be seeing like the shorter we could be seeing a range between 35k and 40k, if we consolidate at the top part of that wider range. So yeah, things are looking better. The longer we stay above here, the greater chance we've got of getting above 35. Basically, the longer we stay above about 36, 33k, the better chance we've got of getting above and holding above here, and then the better chance we've got of at least consolidating at this relative high, and eventually taking it out, and invalidating this potential scary looking 20k target pattern. So that is it, guys. Thank you for listening. Remember, this is not a financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. Always do your own research, and I will speak to you guys later on today with a wise update later on today.